My name is Joe Muturi. I'm president of the Slum Dwellers International Network. I think for us and for Kenya and for Muungano and for the regional team and for the consortium within Kenya within the VCA, it was God sent. For us, for the first time, we had a fund that was able to respond to communities who are actually doing the work on the ground, who are actually working on the climate space, doing a little bit of just the best they can in terms of addressing climate issues. So for the first time, we had a fund that actually trickles down. We had a fund that actually cascades down and gets to the grassroots, a fund that actually goes to climate champions on the ground. The grant is important because at the moment there's a lot of, at the global platform, there's a lot of talk about loss and damage. And as we speak here, in Kenya, we are experiencing floods. I think they are the worst floods in a number of years. So there's a lot of damage being caused by the climate phenomena, flooding. In the month of February, the city of Nairobi experienced the most heat that we have never. At the moment, we are facing the loss of humans, the loss of livelihoods, loss of property. And I think for us, I think it's important that for the first time, through the Next Level grant, we are able to respond to these climate emergencies. In a way, the Next Level grant was different. And the way we wanted to look at the grant here in Kenya and the way we wanted to apply the grant. One of the things we said, we are going to decolonize how grant making is done. So part of the challenge is when people apply for grants, the turnaround period can be 6 months, 1 year to 2 years. Sometimes you are responding to an emergency. Does it make sense? For example, now we are having a crisis. There's all this paperwork to be done, all this committee to look after this form, the other committee that looks at this committee. Sometimes it takes even 1 year up until there are all this due diligence done. So what we said it will be different for us is for the hard to reach groups. So there are a lot of grants running around purportedly to assist the urban poor. But the application process is tedious. The grant is only it's only accessible to people who can access information, can access. So we wanted this to be accessed by everybody. The hard to reach groups, the hard to reach communities, and we didn't want these groups not to access the grant just because they don't have this paper or that paper, because part of all these others, they ask for all manner of documentation. You have to be registered, you have to have a bank account, you have to have 3 or 4 referees, you have to have this. And part of this, the way we did it, the community reference was enough that these young people are working. So what we did it differently is that Muungano and SDI Kenya was able to assist these groups to access the paperwork that they wanted. We didn't want it to be like a free for all, free money to be thrown around. We also put in place a mechanism. We also put in place frameworks that were able to guide, but these were able to assist these groups to access the grant. So we wanted to offer an alternative. We wanted to say this is accessible, this can be accessible by all community. And we also put in place a mechanism for every applicant to be able to be taken through the process, how to apply, how to fill in the forms, how to fill in this or that. So we made it so simple that unfortunately the resources were not enough. The first time we received over 2,000 grants. We received about 2,000 applicants. We received applicants as far as Somalia and Haiti. But unfortunately the resources were not enough. Number 2, we were also confined which areas to work in. And so it was different. So we are hoping probably, and you know, we are only intervening because there are gaps at county level, there are gaps at national level, but they don't have resources to respond to this. They don't have resources to support the climate work and groups and individuals who are doing work around climate justice, around climate mitigation. So we are hoping that this is something that the government can pick up, the city governments can pick up. And the other thing, we are also able to leverage support from city and national government to continuously support these groups.